Record. Hello, hello, and welcome again to this series of Pop the Kettle On and Getting to Know You. As you know, we've been doing a little bit of a get to know you of our tribe members at the Spiritual Co-op, all the people behind those beautiful wares, products, jewelry, you name it, on the Spiritual Co-op virtual marketplace. So today we have Tereza Legradi. How are you, Teresa?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. So is it Teresa or Teresa?
Teresa.
Teresa. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Always good to know because everyone has different. Sorry?
Call me anything, I'll answer it.
I love it. Alrighty. Welcome on board. So Teresa is from Terra Goddess as well. Is that right? Terra Goddess as well as Terra Smudge Skicks handcrafted. That's a mouthful.
Goddess of Terra.
Goddess of Terra.
Is. That's it.
So Teresa has been one of our beautiful stall holders and tribees at the marketplace. And, you know, you don't often see her face because she never shows it, number one. And so this is a really big thing for Teresa to be on screen live and also, you know, here to meet all of you and answer your questions as well. So as we're starting, you know, tell us a little bit about you.
About me.
Mm.
Now you're putting me on the spot. Well, I live in Tassie. I live on 40 acres of pretty much bush. What about me? I have a 16-year-old son. And yeah, you've really put me on the spot. Thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. So
tell me a little bit about.
Tell me a little bit about. So were you born and raised in Tasmania?
No. I was born and raised up in Penrith, New South Wales. Moved down here when I was 15.
Right. Okay. So you moved to Tassie with your family, obviously.
Yeah, with my mum. Yep.
With your mum, and you never left, and you've never left ever since.
No. Why would I? We're on an island.
Yes. So tell me, you've got this huge property there where you do, you know, where you do all of your smudge gigs. Tell me a little bit about these smudge gigs and how did you come up with them?
I got sick of buying sage and I got sick of the smell. And I got sick of the cheap incense sticks. None of it was working. And I popped into a little crystal shop in town one day and they had a different, like an Aussie kind of stick that had different stuff in it. So I thought I'd give it a go and absolutely loved it. And spent a good month doing a heap of research online and writing notes and researching different plants and finding out what trees I had growing here and what I didn't and what I needed to grow and what I can and can't grow because it gets cold down here. And I just went from there and started combining different smells, and it took me a few months to get it all right, and here we are today.
Oh, that's brilliant. It's all about the sensory, isn't it? The look, the smell, the feel, and the fun of it is just playing around to get that perfect product.
Well, that's it. And just because you've got to find a base plant that's going to hold everything together as well, because some of your bits aren't as big as the others. Like you've got little bits of lemon rind and ginger and you've got cloves running through it as well. So you've got to find those right plants that are going to hold everything together as well.
So this is not your
It's quite
traditional. It's not your traditional smoke stick, is it?
no. Well, I looked online, and I mean, you'd see all the smudge sticks, and they're about that thick.
Mm-hmm.
And I just looked at them, and I thought, well, how are you going to get that to burn, and how are you going to? I just can't see the concept of having something so big and chunky, and it's just going to take forever to burn. And I found that with a lot of the white sage sticks lately,
Mm-hmm.
that they're very big and chunky and a little bit too tight. And I do that with some of my sticks sometimes, but they're a lot easier to loosen up than your traditional sticks.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, they're a bit different, like me.
They're a little bit different like you. So tell me a little bit about your spiritual path and how you got started on your spiritual path.
I went through about a cancer about 15 years, oh well, not about, going on 16 years next year. And I suppose it sort of opened my eyes to a different life and a different person. And it was always there. My background's Hungarian, and we've got a bit of gypsy bloodiness, so I've always been that gypsy girl and the different one. So I suppose the cancer opened the door and brought me to where I should be.
And through this process of having cancer, did you find more about your gypsy heritage and really research a little bit more about it?
It wasn't until after the cancer and after a few other personal things happened, and I found myself on my own with a little 4-year-old boy, and the right people were there at the right time that helped open doors and just led the way, and here I am.
Beautiful, beautiful. So what does spirituality mean to you?
Oh, I think it's about being, not so much the phases of the moon and the gods and the goddesses. It's more about, for me, it's more about me and who I am and who I'm becoming and who I can be. So that, for me as a healer, that is what it's about. It's more about the inner person and getting to where you want to be in life and be who you want to be.
Yeah, because you're not just, the creator of Smudge Skicks. You're so much more than that. There is an artist in you. You use different modalities. So tell us a little bit about, what you have done. You talk about being a healer. What kind of healings do you do?
I support most of my work is through just being there. So people know they can shoot me a message at 10 o'clock or midnight, and if I'm awake, I will sit there and I'll talk them through and I'll help them, I'll support them. We do readings. I love my decks. I've got a deck addiction. That's one of my biggest addictions. Yes. And yeah, just mainly support, knowing that somebody's there. Whether you know them face to face or you've just met online and there's that connection, it's just about knowing that there's somebody there that you can call on.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. Now, you're also a reader. Have you always been a reader?
That's where I started, yeah. That's what I started doing, was reading. And then everything else just started flowing as I grew, and I learnt my lessons, and my pathway got a bit easier and easier until recently. And then it's just, learning all over again.
Learning all over. Yeah. Does anyone else in your family read as well?
Mum's gifted. She stopped using it a long time ago, as a lot of our parents did back then. She's starting to tap into it, as we saw on the weekend with her lovely piece of abstract spiritual artwork.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's amazing. My son's gifted. He's he's got a lot of work ahead of him. He's got some power behind that kid.
So there is the gypsy line runs deep in you, doesn't it?
Well, that's it. Oh, my dad uses the pendulum. I had to give up one of my pendulums to my dad last time I saw him, because he got that attached to it and enjoyed using it that much that he wanted to keep it.
So in many ways, you're sparking and you're inspiring, your family around you to be more intuitive as well.
Yeah. Well, it's what we've got to do. We've got to believe in ourselves and trust in ourselves. So I'm not very good at that, believe it or not. I try really hard, but I question myself. We're all our biggest critics, aren't we, Andrew?
Yes, we are. Definitely we are. So also tell me a little bit about, the process of you creating your smudge sticks. You also do a lot of wood burning. I don't know what you call them.
Yep.
What do you call those, your little wooden items that you make?
My wooden items, it depends on what I'm making. Well, I've got my sun catchers, and I do card holders, stick holders. I'm in the process of doing a Wiccan empath protection board. So when you're putting together a spell, or I'm even going to have a little card holder in there for when you're doing a reading, or if you've got something, whatever people want to use them for. They all have their forever home. So it's just a matter of finding that person.
And how do you come up with it? What is the medium you use first of all? Because I know you use specific type of woods that you have around in your property.
Yeah, well, I use anything. I use dogwood. I use the hardwood, the eucalyptus. We've got some beautiful blackwood. Our property is littered with blackwood, so I've got a lot of lovely blackwood to play with. I've got a bit of wattle I'm going to try and play with soon as well. So I try and just use what's on the ground.
Yeah. Which one's your favorite to work with?
I'd have to say the hardwood, because it shows the burning and you can see the depth of the wood, the age of the wood, even like the little wormhole, down to the wormholes. I love the little wormholes that you find in the wood, and just all the odd bits. I like the weird bits that people don't think you can make anything out of.
So obviously there's an eye in you. You see the beauty of these pieces of wood that most people wouldn't see in there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I've got a piece that I picked them up off the ground, and I was asked, what are you going to do with that? They're shit. And I turned around and I said, you think they're shit? And you just watch. And I've got a crescent moon piece that I sit on my mantle, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Love it. So you also put a lot of sigils on yours, and tell me a little bit about how you set those intentions and how you create what goes into your mind when you see a piece of wood to the finished product with the beautiful sigils on it.
I let the timber speaks. It tells me what it wants, and every seagull symbol that I put on my woodwork has to do with my personal growth. It's a bit like my readings I post on my page. All my readings are my own personal readings. So it shows people what I'm going through at the time. As we discussed earlier, I just made one about facing my fears. And I'm looking at it now hanging above my bedroom door, and today I'm facing one of my biggest fears.
And it's much...
they're all linked to some part of my lesson in life.
Yeah, yeah. No, I definitely agree with that, because when I'm making my talismans as well, I find that I get drawn to working with a certain few type of crystals, and then I look it up and I'm like,
Yep,
oh, this is why. But you kind of know that it's for you to learn right now, and that message gets passed on to the next person so that they're able to learn, you know, the struggles that you're going through as well, because a lot of, we have to realize that we're not alone, and that a lot of
that's
people
it.
go through the same thing. So as we're working on it, it's almost like we're imprinting um, the lessons that we learn for the next person as well.
Well, that's it. And we're all a healer in some way because we all pass on our knowledge of an experience to the next person. And yeah, the biggest thing is to realize that we're not alone. We're all going through the same thing. Situations and circumstances may be a little bit different, but in the long run, in the bigger picture, we're all still going through the same thing, and we've got to be there to support each other.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. And that's what the spiritual co-op is all about. It's about
Yeah.
everyone coming together to support each other. So I love that all the people that have evolved and all the people that have come on board are really like-minded and are so willing to help each other out.
Yeah, and accepting people for who they are,
Mm.
no matter how weird or crazy they get. And, we all go through processes and stages, and we learn to accept that. So, yeah.
Let's face it, we're all weird and crazy. Anyone who says they're normal, they're lying. Because what is
What's
normal?
normal? What's normal?
Snap.
There's no such thing.
There's no such thing. That's right. Now, I'd like to
But
bring you back to your Smudge Skicks. How did you come up with the name Smudge Skicks? Because
Skicks.
that's like.
It was a spelling mistake. And I didn't realize until, because I did it on my phone, and of course big thumbs and little letters, they just don't quite work. So once I've set it all up and it went through, I realized what I'd done, and I just laughed and thought, no, bugger it, I've got to leave it, have a bit of fun with it. So something a bit different.
So that's how it stuck. From a spelling
Yeah,
error. There
from
are
a
no
spelling
mistakes.
error. Yeah, yeah. I can't spell to save my life on the best of days, so it's just part of me.
I love it.
One of my dory days.
So tell me a bit about your process in making your smudge. I mean, you don't have to tell us the whole story, but what inspiration do you get, or how do you get the inspiration to make the different types of smudge sticks?
Well, it's a passion. It's a passion. It's a love. I lost hearing in my left ear when I had my cancer, so a lot of my other senses are a lot heightened, and smell is one of them. So I use smell a lot to help in my calming process, or just in everyday life. I burn every day, be it a charcoal tablet or a smudge stick. I've always got something burning. You can't get anything better as an air freshener even than something natural. And then you don't see much of them, but I just love it. It's something different, and it's me.
Yeah. So do
Everything
you
has a bit of me in it.
every bit of yeah. Do you grow? I mean, besides the ones that you forage on your property, do you grow a lot of your ingredients as well?
Yes, between Mum and I. Mum's an avid gardener as well. She's got a lot less wallabies than I do, so she can grow a lot more than I can. So between the two of us, yeah, we grow just about everything. Things like your cloves, your cinnamon, I do actually buy from the supermarket, and
Yeah.
and bay leaves at the moment. But pretty much everything else I do grow out here, or Mum grows. Yep.
Wonderful. That's quite
And
amazing,
we've
isn't it?
actually, Yeah, we've actually got some baby white sage growing, proper white sage growing at the moment, which has taken us a few months to get going. So fingers crossed we get some nice plants out of those.
Did you grow that from seed?
Yes, yeah, got the seed from the mainland, and between Mum and I, we've just been trying for the last few months because they take anything up to 4 weeks to germinate. So
Oh,
it's a slow
really?
process. Yeah, slow process to grow the white sage.
That's good to know because my partner Kane just bought a whole bunch of seeds as well, and white sage was one of them. He's like, "Look what I got!" I'm like, "Oh." So
Yeah.
we're going to be growing some as well for our personal use, but it'll be interesting to see how it grows here and how it might be different here as well, because obviously we've got a bit of a warmer weather patch here.
Well, that's really funny because I thought they would do better growing inside, but Mum ended up putting her seedling tray outside a couple of weeks ago, and it got covered in snow and frost and everything else. And yeah, the other day she went and checked them, and they're growing. So it's a bit bizarre.
Well, yeah, I guess it's, white sage is American, isn't it? So they'll have,
Yeah.
that freezing cold winters as well that need to kickstart. So I might actually have a try of that and have a play with that. It'll be very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not sure. But anyway, however it grows, as long as it grows, we're happy.
Yeah, happy. Yeah. Have you seen how has your business grown over the last few years of you really promoting yourself and putting yourself out there?
It's been a really slow process because I've had a lot of personal things go on. So I do fight and suffer depression. So I do go through bouts where I have to drop off. I disappear and I just do what I need to do to find the light again and head back out. But I keep pushing myself even through the dark times to because it helps me. It brings me joy and happiness, and I suppose that's what helps with everything else, doesn't it?
Hmm. And is this probably why you love to burn so much? Because it's like, helping you work through your everyday thing. Because I know one of your most famous smudge gigs is called the fuck off one. Is that the fuck off smudge stick?
The fuck off smudge stick, my baby. Yeah. Um, yeah, I burn every day. It's good smell. It's better than
Yeah.
spraying air freshener around every day. That's for
Well,
sure.
tell us a little bit about your fuck off smudge gig. Do you have one
The
there?
fuck
Is that
off.
one of them?
I do. I do. That's it. That's my baby there. So that's
Oh,
the
look at
bracken
that.
fern. And then you've got down through the middle as well. Um,
Beautiful.
It's one of my babies. And I've got one of my healing sticks that's got your redwood and pine through it.
And how
So they're
how
all,
how are they different? Your healing stick as opposed to your fuck off stick.
well, the way
Besides
they
the
look
herb.
is different down to the plant. I mean, as we know, bracken fern is quite a big fern and it's a single stem plant sort of thing, but they all dry differently. And some plants dry puffier than others. So that's why you find the fuck off stick is the biggest one out of the lot. It's just because of the fern itself and how it dries and then wraps up. Whereas the healing one's got your redwood around it, which is a lot flatter kind of
What
foliage.
what is redwood? Is that red cedar?
Uh, yeah, like your Canadian redwoods and
Oh,
it's your
right.
evergreens and things like that. So we've got a few different ones of those out here, different varieties of redwoods and cedars and stuff as well that I mix into my ultimate smudge, which is the loose stuff. So the ultimate goddess is every single smudge stick and a little bit extra that I don't normally add to the others.
Ah, brilliant, brilliant. And how do you
Mm.
burn those? You burn that on charcoal disc?
Yes, yeah, yep, yep. I've been burning one all morning, and of course, it's gone out.
It's got
So
it.
it's gone out. But I did post a video the other day about how to light a charcoal tablet, because I know a lot of people don't know much about them. So I thought it's about time I put something on there, because I've had a lot of people ask. So
Brilliant,
yeah, if you go on
brilliant.
the Skicks page, you'll find my video on there.
Yes,
And of
that's
course, you
what.
won't see me. You'll hear me. You won't see me.
Well, it's really interesting because I noticed that you put the charcoal disc on top of the herbs and
Yes.
leaves, and then you put more on
Yeah.
top of it as well.
Yep. Your bowls get really hot from the charcoal
Hmm.
tablets. So you can either use sand as a base just for protection for your bowl, or I just use my smudge, because I use the ash from my burns to make my black salt as well.
Brilliant.
So yeah, that's how I make my black salt, is with all the ash from my smudge sticks.
Right, right. So this is quite a witchy poo side of you as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah. And well, that's what it is, isn't it? Everything that we do, we are a little bit of a mixed bag. We pull on different traditions, we pull on different things that we're drawn to and make that our practice.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, tradition has gone out the window. That left a few generations ago. Um, so what we've got to do now, well, what I do now is take what works for me, and then I turn it into my own thing. Um, I suppose I'm not a sheep. I don't know all the details of the moons and the goddesses and the crystals. You asked me a crystal and I couldn't tell you, because I'd got a memory like a goldfish. So I just sort of try and use what works for me, and combine it with everything else.
Brilliant. So
Bit of allspice, maybe.
maybe a bit allspice. Tell me a little bit about how you bring spirituality in your everyday life.
Uh, oh, I live with it. My property's quite blessed, so I've got an army of spirits, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's been some orbs and stuff flashing about around me. They come and go as they please, and they're everywhere. My feet have grown roots into my land, which makes it really hard for me to leave home. I can't even go town grocery shopping these days. But yeah, it's every day. Every day I wake up and I see all my bits and pieces and the beautiful products I've brought online from the market. And, when I get blessed with seeing the wedge-tailed eagles steal my chickens, and the echidna that runs through the property through the summer, and all that beautiful stuff, and the platypus, and it's everywhere. I live it. I live in it. It's
Sounds
the best
like
way I can
paradise.
explain it. It is. It's my paradise.
It's your paradise. Yeah. Well, would you be able to show us and burn one of your smudge
Oh, I
gigs?
sure can.
Because this is
Got the
always
coffee tape.
exciting. Everyone knows that I'm a little bit of a pyromaniac. I love burning stuff. And I love seeing
Well,
fire.
that's funny, because I'm a water sign. I'm a Pisces, and I actually hate water. Give
Oh,
me
really?
fire any day. Yeah, I'm a firebug. That's why I like smudge sticks, because I'm a firebug too. So let's see.
Oh, look at that.
So that's your flary up first burn. And I generally just let them burn. I'll set the smoke alarm off, no doubt. Oh, so goes.
Look at that. Look at the
Mhm.
smoke. Oh, isn't that fantastic? And do you use the entire stick at one go, or will you
No,
blow it up? No.
no, I'll let it just smolder and burn until it goes out. And then I give it a bit of a trim before I do the next burn, because you find a lot of the burnt stuff won't reburn again.
Right.
So, yeah.
That's a really
Sorry,
good tip.
I just don't want to set fire to my house.
That's all right.
Don't set
That's
fire
all
to your house, people.
right. Well, thank you for showing us that. One more thing, two more things actually.
All right.
What do you think is your vision and mission and message to the world?
Burn the cotton wool. There is one thing cancer taught me is there is more to life than a tidy house. So that goes for the house that you live in and the house that your body is. So make the most of it. Live your life. Fuck the rules and just do what works for you. You know, fuck everybody else and just be you.
I love
I'd
it.
be in my pajamas if I could, but I got told I had to wear makeup and get dressed. So. I'm a farm girl. I don't wear makeup. I wear Blunston boots and I carry an axe and I use the chainsaw, mate. So I'm out of my comfort zone a bit here.
I love it. I love it. And
if I can't laugh at myself, I'm fucked.
And lastly, tell me what about your life and what you do that you love the most right now?
Waking up every day. That's the biggest bonus. Everything I do, everybody I meet, every day's a blank page, and I look forward to what every day brings. I try not to write the page before it's written, and yeah, just live your life, love it, and stop being so wrapped up in cotton wool.
Thank you so much, Teresa, for being here today. Thank you for being so brave and sharing your story with us. I know it's really put you out of your comfort zone, but it's really nice to see the face, hear the voice, and know the person behind those amazing smudge kicks and all your beautiful creations.
People actually know I'm real and I exist then.
That's right. That's right. You're not a little sock puppet.
That's it.
Well, if you'd like to know a little bit more about Teresa, you can actually go to her Facebook page, Goddess of Terra. So you can search that on Facebook, as well as Terra Smudge Skicks Handcrafted on Facebook. So make sure you check that out. I think Teresa will also be on Instagram very soon. So make sure you follow her page and look out for what's all the new stuff that she's going to be creating. And also make sure you check out the virtual marketplace this weekend. And this weekend is all about self-reflection. So come on board, do some shopping, make sure you get all your smudges and your smoke sticks for all the different rituals that you do. And on top of that, have a really, really amazing, happy full moon in Pisces this afternoon.
Wonderful.
So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. From my heart, from our heart to yours, take care of yourself and the people around you.
And much love to you all too. Bless you all.
And we'll see you soon. Bye.
You sure will. Bye.